Hello and welcome to the OverShadow ShadowCast with your host Thomas Anderson. So, last week I promised you that we would have a little conversation about PlayStation 5's release. We will. It goes without saying during COVID that, as you know, Abigail and I will not be recording together, therefore it's just me. She, I believe, is recording next week, and it might be either every 2 weeks, we'll swap her every week from there on in. But we'll just get started because we've got a few stories. I haven't really been playing anything. I've been sort of like dabbling in and out of certain things just a little bit. Mostly what I've actually been doing is preparing my setup for actual gameplay videos. So hopefully they're really close now. We seem to be getting there, and it's getting easier. I suppose next time I talk, I'll maybe be talking about things like Lego City Undercover. Although I'm not entirely sure if a game about police officers is going to go down well at the moment. But he's Lego, so it kind of makes it better. So we're just going to go straight into some stories we're going to talk about, and then we'll round off with a conversation about PlayStation 5's Internet Expo. So first story is a story about EA in a way, and Star Wars for sure. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, I've written here, it seems to have lost its mind. Capital Games have banned a content creator, I believe called Anald. He's a massive, his channel is dedicated to that particular game. And he's had his account banned. Now he can obviously still play it because he can make other accounts, but his primary account has been banned. Now the issue here is not that he's done anything wrong. He says that, he admits that he did, which was that he used somebody else's account, but that other person had spent, I think it was thousands of dollars on characters, and wasn't getting any fun out of the game anymore. So rather than see that go to waste, he gave Anald access to his account so that Anald could see the characters that he had unlocked and talk about them, which is basically free advertising for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But because it was account sharing, they've shut Anald's main account down, I think, as well as the other one that he was given access to. The issue here is the fact that that's a permanent ban, and that's very rare. The rules are being applied asymmetrically. Some people are getting slaps on the wrist and others are getting full force bans. And what doesn't make any sense, again, is the fact that this particular man was creating content that advertised their game for free. So if you look into the story a bit further, what's been happening is that Capital Games, who are in control of Galaxy of Heroes, have been there's been accusations and rumours of them emailing content creators. These accusations come from the content creators with fake threats based on the content that they've created. So fake legal threats saying you've done something we didn't want you to do, blah blah blah, because these people were all part of the what's it called again, the Game Changer program, which Capital Games have since shut down. And it turns out that Capital Games were using the Game Changer program to obviously give themselves good publicity, but also to stop those people who were making content for Galaxy of Heroes from making content for Marvel Strike Force, which is basically the same game. It's the Marvel version of Galaxy of Heroes. And what's happened is they've used the Game Changer program to persuade people not to cover Marvel Strike Force. And then once Marvel Strike Force's sort of like time to shine, its opening 15 minutes was over, they obviously didn't need them to do that anymore, so they shut down the Game Changer program. But before that, they were emailing content creators saying, you've done something we didn't want you to do. Well, it's not a problem because these people signed either very specific contracts or didn't sign contracts, so they're able to do whatever they want anyway. But once Marvel Strike Force was done, they shut down the Game Changer program, even though certain promises had been made to those content creators, which were then never fulfilled because the Game Changer program was shut down. I believe the Game Changer program is still up at EA. It's just Capital Games don't like it, so shut it down. But they shut it down after they used it. So if their problem with it was moral and ethical, they used it for the worst possible thing and then shut it down. So I don't think they have a problem with it other than they think they're losing control because they've got these content creators doing essentially whatever they want. And if we go back to the original content creator we're talking about, Anald, who got his account banned, it turns out that he has been unyielding, unflinching, and in ensuring that when he gives any opinion on anything, that it's accurate. It's not propaganda. It's not advertising. He just tells the truth. And it's believed that that's what's caused this problem, why he has been specifically banned when others have been let go with a slap in the wrist, because he's given an opinion that they didn't want to hear, they didn't want to see, so they've banned him to try and punish him for it. Because he has been scathing about certain things, like certain characters being added. What I'm going to say here, two things to round it off. One is Capital Games. I mean, the game is already a nonsense. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is a rip. And Capital Games have made possibly billions from it, and they don't really care. They just add in characters willy-nilly just to make more money. If you go and look at the website for the game, they used to keep up-to-date update logs, like what was coming and how they've updated and patched the game. Those are all way behind. I don't think either of them has been updated in 2020. So they've made their money and they don't really care anymore. The other thing is that you have to apply the rules fairly. And what Anald is doing is he has tried to use other players' accounts to make content which advertises the game. That's not the same as somebody using the content to advance themselves in the game. I'm not even sure how you would do that, but it's not the same. So, or somebody giving somebody else access so that person can, cheat to get them all the characters. So I feel that Capital Games has been foolish here, but it's because they just don't care anymore. They're making more than enough money by what's happening. They don't want to rock the boat, so they'd rather shut this person down for negative opinions they don't like than risk that person damaging their income, even though it's free advertising. So I don't like EA in the Game Changer program. I think it's just paying off people who otherwise would give a fair opinion. But this is one of the few people, it seems to be actually the people involved in the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Game Changer program actually do seem to be willing to give their honest opinion. So it's one of the few times that I would say that the system has worked the way that it should, and yet Capital Games have shut it down and started punishing the people who were in it. So that would be my final point. I wouldn't really go anywhere near that game, and if you've got it, I'd uninstall it, because it represents a gaming style or a gaming mechanic financially that we don't want to see. We don't want to see this development method used, because these games are just... Well, you could make an argument that they're downright abusive, that people get roped up in something that they can't control and end up spending thousands of dollars. I'll leave you with this. You can spend $50,000 on Galaxy of Heroes and still not have all the characters unlocked and maxed. There you go. So we're moving on now. So next story refers to I don't know if you've heard of Shirley Curry. I've brought her up before. She's known as is it Skyrim Grandma? She refers to her viewers as grandkids. She just played Skyrim one day for a laugh and put the video up online because certain people asked her to do it. And then it took off and she's now got thousands of subscribers. And she loves all of her fans and she tries to respond to all the comments and make as many videos as she can. And it takes up a lot of her time. And because of that, her fans started a petition to have her immortalised in the next Elder Scrolls game because she may not actually get to play it because she's quite old. I think she's 84 or something like that. So this has been done before with Fallout 4 and Skyrim with characters called Evan and Eric. I think it was Eric the Slayer. And Bethesda have said yes. But unfortunately, she's recently taken quite a long break from making videos. And she did a video, I think it was 3 weeks ago, maybe 4, in which she explained why, and it was because she was getting comments that she didn't like. Now, I have to say, I think that obviously people are nasty in comments, and a lot of people who get into this early on don't, they expect it, so they don't necessarily treat it with the negative response that we could give it. This shouldn't be tolerated. And at the minute it's accepted. But having said that, her reasons were very confusing. Now I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she hasn't actually told us the specific comments that have caused her to have a problem, because the video, she's really lethargic, really down. She says her health's not good and that she's just getting tired of all having to do it all, and she's not enjoying it anymore because of the response she's getting in the comments. And as I said, she's taking a 3 or 4 week break already. So some of the examples that she gave were things like people suggesting what games to play. And she said, I'm a gamer, I know about all the games. If I'm not playing them, it's because I don't want to. So don't suggest games. If you're suggesting tactics to use, she says she's been playing Skyrim for years, she knows about the HUD, she knows about the mechanics, I don't need you to tell me about it. If these are I can't believe that those are the only comments that have caused a problem, because frankly they're not enough to cause a problem. They are perfectly reasonable comments for people to make in the comments section of somebody's videos. They're perfectly reasonable. So I get the impression that these have descended into something else when she's responded. But she has said that she has responded to people saying no, and that should be enough. But that's rude. Even I know if you just say no to someone, they're not going to like it. So I've done it before and I'll do it again because I'm a bit rude. But the point is that if she's talking about courtesy, she can't then be rude like that. So that's why I can't believe that these are the comments that have been enough. I've seen some of Shirley Curry's work. She seems like a very lovely person. I can't believe that that's enough for her to get upset. I think that she's overworked herself for sure. But I also think that what she's done is that she has had other comments that have been much worse than that came from a start. That were, have you tried this game? No, I don't really want to play it. And then that person somehow got upset. So I don't think it's her fault. I'm not saying she's I'm not saying she's overreacting. I just don't think she's actually told us everything, because I don't think that that's enough of a causative agent for this response. So I think it's a whole host of things that we haven't actually heard about that's caused this reaction. But I just wanted to bring it up because I think that we do allow a lot of nonsense in comment sections, which we shouldn't. Like, obviously people can have different opinions, and that's absolutely fine, and people can say whatever they want, that's absolutely fine, but you shouldn't, there's a limit to that, because you've got to remember things like mob mentality and being anonymous. If you're hidden, if you're safe, people will be much worse people than they would be if they felt that they were exposed, because then they'd hold themselves to account. So I think that's something that we should all be aware of when we're on social media or the internet in general. The last little story we've got before PS5 is Kingdoms of Amulet Reckoning, the remaster, is coming out on the 18th of August 2020. I absolutely adore this game. I love it. I think it's fantastic. If you don't care about the story, you can take it or leave it. The actual combat mechanics and the freedom to create your own character however you see fit and then change as you play is incredible. So I highly recommend that anybody who didn't play it before, buy it. And anybody who did play it before, buy it, because it's brilliant. If you like RPGs, this is definitely one to get. And they say that they'll be keeping everything the same, trying to slightly tweak it to improve it, but adding some more stuff. So I think that the original DLC, which I never played, will be included in the remaster, so I heartily recommend the game. What's also good is if it does well, the previous creators, 38 Studios, they were planning an MMO before they crashed. So now that the rights have been bought by THQ Nordic, EA do still have some say over it because they were involved originally. But THQ Nordic bought the rights for the MMO as well. So if it does well, we'll see an MMO on it. And I just really think that a game with that much flexibility in that storyline, I'm not a great fan of MMOs, but it could work. So I do want to see more made of Kingdoms of Amalur. Especially a sequel if they make a single player sequel. So I'd support that. 18th of August 2020, because that's looking good. Okay, so the last thing that we've got here is, what I've got is a list of games that were announced for the PlayStation 5. I'm not going to talk about the technical specifics. I'll either leave that to Abigail as the tech wizard, or she'll say that she's not going to do that, and I'll prepare a bit more of a comparison on the specifics between the two consoles. We won't include the Switch unless we feel like having a laugh, because obviously that's not what the Switch is designed for. It's not designed for pure power like the other two are. It's designed to be a little bit more idiosyncratic. So I'll just list the games and then I'll talk about one in particular at the end. So there's a new Spider-Man, Gran Turismo, Ratchet & Clank 3, Project Athia, Stray, which is about a cat in a robot world, Returnal, Sackboy Adventures, Destruction All-Stars, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Goodbye Volcano High, Oddworld Soulstorm, Ghostwire Tokyo, Jet the Far Shore, Godfall, Solar Ash, Hitman 3, Little Devil Inside. It's Basketball 2K21, Bugsnax, Demon Souls, Deathloop, Resident Evil 8, not President Evil 8, although some people may agree, Pragmata, and Horizon Forbidden West. Right, if you like the sound of those, you can go and watch their presentation on YouTube. I highly recommend you do, because a lot of these games looked incredible, and I really think all of them looked, you can look at all of these games and say, I can see why they've made that, because someone's going to love it. So I really do recommend you go and watch it, and if anything's caught your eye there, I hope, or your ear, I hope you go and have a look. I'll try and include a link in the description below. The last game that I want to talk about here for PlayStation 5 is GTA 5 and online. So I think that if you... I think GTA 5 online in the next generation is going to be free to play. The single player, they're remastering again, I believe, and putting it out on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One. No, Xbox One Plus. I for some reason the name's escaped me. Is it Scorpio? Project X? And what you can do is Series X. Just remembered Series X. Sorry, just remembered. So what you can do, I believe, is you can play online free, and you can play the game remastered. I really like GTA 5 single player. I really do. I've played it several times. I'd happily play it again on a new console. We do need a GTA 6, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's a bad idea to port it again, because I think it's also putting down a marker, because that means that GTA Online has been ported twice when it comes to generations. So it will be GTA, it will have been 360 and PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and now PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And it's laying down this idea that it's not going anywhere, it's not going away. And if they do make an online play for GTA 6, I would expect it to somehow fold in. The reason that they've actually ported the GTA 5 online is because if there's an online for 6, they'll want to have your online character able to visit both areas. Like an MMO, but instead of 100 low-res areas, there's 2 high-res. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was limited to the new consoles, which GTA 6 will come out on exclusively, I reckon. So that's interesting to me. That's something to really look out for, is why they've done that, because it speaks volumes as to what's planned for GTA. And if GTA Online is still going to be adding more and more content, as they have done the whole time it's been there, which I agreed with totally up until they put in the gambling mechanic for the Diamond Casino. But personally, I think change a few laws and that's gone. I think that's the way to deal with that. I'm really, that's really captured my eye, and because I'd actually been speaking about it with a few people before this announcement that it was going to be ported again, about how they were going to include the different onlines. And so I think that actually provides a bit of evidence for my position that they'll try and have both onlines and you'll be able to visit both as long as you own both the games. GTA 5 online is free, but that gives you a free taste, and then if you want 6, you have to buy 6. So yeah, I can see that happen, and I can't disagree with it, to be honest with you. It does make sense. So other than that, if you've heard anything that you like the look of, I would, as I said, I'll try and put the link below. I've said it before, but I will say it again. I heartily recommend you go and watch the video. It's only an hour, I think, the presentation, but I highly recommend it. And Stray, where you are actually a cat. You play as a cat in a robot world. So I think that's I think they've really gone to the trouble of just making games, just like, what can we make? Let's go. So yeah, I think that it's something to be applauded. We've not seen this in a wee while. It's not constant sequels, and it's not just make the games which will make billions. It's more than that. So I applaud it, and I think everybody should go and have a look. And well, because of this channel has an interest in GTA 5, so we'll be keeping an eye on that, and that particularly Sean. But what's interesting is that GTA 6 is not listed in that, so it's probably going to be a bit later. But I reckon it's not too far away, because they can't just release GTA 5 and then leave it for another 5 years. I don't think people would take that. But if they've adapted it so that they can fit it with a 6 that's coming out, people can see the point, and I think that might be what they're doing. I'd just like to thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Please, if you have, please like and subscribe like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can hit the notification bell so that you can get alerted to whenever we upload, which hopefully will be happening more often once we can start with some videos. You can leave a comment underneath. All comments are welcome, or you can contact us at overshadow.shadowcast@gmail.com. Again, that will be in the description below. The Facebook channel will be we're going to clean slate that, and then we're going to start again once we've got actual videos to put on it. So we're getting close to that, and I'm excited, and I kind of hope you are as well. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're looking forward to next week, and I will see you. Abigail will see you then. Bye bye.